Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, we've got real talk today. Raid is 6 years and some old. And something's got to change. Something's got to change like now. Ash did a really good video on this a couple of weeks back. But I think with the new patch coming in, with some of the things which we're seeing coming to the game, I feel like there's 3 things which are like really high priority to change. The first one's a no-brainer, okay? And it's about silver. There are now a lot of areas of the game where we need to move gear around on our champs. Silver is a massive problem, okay? I'm on the test server here, so I'm going to show you a couple of things. Well, firstly, before I get into that, I played the free-to-play challenge. Yeah, this year, 3 months playing as a new player. Silver is a pain in the ass, and that's even with them changing the system that when you start the game, you get a 7 million bounty of silver to use. It runs out really quick. You can't level gear. You can't move gear around. And you end up just being stuck. You're stuck in these builds when actually you want to change builds about. So for a new player, the experience is not good. Okay, and I can imagine there's a lot of players that try Raid. They also try some of the other new games that are out there right now. And they realize that Raid is really unforgiving with moving gear around, which means that you're not really playing the game enough. Like, you could play the game a lot more, as in like actively playing the game, if you could move gear around. So they've got some systems in play, right? They've got things like the preset manager now that, so I'm on the test server here, so it doesn't carry over, but I can literally save builds, move them around, and this is a great implementation to go alongside free regearing. But we don't have the free regearing yet. You know, if you just look, this isn't even me changing accessories, and just to move a set around, over 1 million silver. Now, for me, on my account, I've got silver because I'm into super late game. But honestly, even for me, if I go hard on something like Sintranos, I burn my silver in no time. It literally is like crazy how quick it goes. So it's a real problem. Now, what I wanted to show you when I first started this video was areas of the game. Siege. You absolutely, if you are wanting to play a decent level in Siege, you need to, right before you set your defense, re-gear your strongest defenses. Okay, you need them. You need your best champions in the best gear sets for the type of level that you're trying to protect. And that can change Siege to Siege, and it should change Siege to Siege if you're playing it properly. Okay, so basically, what's this? Every week we have like a full re-gearing session on these guys. If you are trying to push Curse City, I would say first 2 areas, if you're relatively late game, it's fine. When you start to get to the 3rd area, it gets tricky. In the final area, you basically need to have like your best gear on any champ you're using to be able to beat any of this stuff. And we saw in the stats that came out recently, it was something like, well, it was definitely less than 100. I think it was something like 47 or 74. One of the two people have actually completed this every time that it's been available. Incredibly low number, like incredibly low number. Now, that says to me that the frustration is more about this whole re-gearing thing. Because I can beat Sintranos, but I normally clear up to around here. And then I'm like, look, I'm not going to re-gear all my champions for just a small amount of extra reward. So, you know, you watch. I'll probably get the thing I've been... No, the avatar. I've been after Carnage's soul. But yeah, this is a problem, right? So this is another area of the game. Siege, Curse City. Now, with the introduction of hard faction wars, this area now joins the club, okay? And it joins it hard. Like, it joins it like you wouldn't believe, because there's so many conditions where we need to play to the conditions to be able to earn 3 stars. So initially, you've got the first clearing of it, and that's going to be quite fun, I think. I did a video on this yesterday, where, you know, you're going to be using stun sets, provoke sets. You're going to be using things like reflex gear. You're going to be using perhaps destroy gear. There's going to be all sorts going on that you wouldn't normally be doing with your champs. So that's one thing. Also, the content's really hard, right? So, which you'd want it to be. It's hard faction wars. You know, if we go to a late stage dungeon here, or late stage battle, and put up a fight, I am being outsped here on all of these champs, right? So I am going last as it stands right now. And obviously, as soon as the enemy start going before you, you're in trouble. Now, this guy's at like nearly 270 speed, right? And I'm being outsped. And that's with a speed in all battles lead as well. Like, you are going to have to re-gear your champs to be able to deal with this, because like you see here, we don't go first, which means all of their team are taking a turn. And before I even get a go, I'm at half health, and I'm probably going to be killed pretty damn quick unless I'm going in and I'm re-gearing my champs, right? So for hard faction wars, we're going to be doing a lot of re-gearing, not just to do the challenges, but also to be able to complete the content. So you're like, well, that's fine. Look, HH, stop whining. That's a one and done. Kinda, but not really, because you've also got, you want to clear this higher level stuff, right? You want to be able to get some of these high level rewards that you get from hard mode now. That's the reason why they're putting it in. It's not just about, you know, clearing off the rewards one off and get your prizes. It's also about now getting some of the relic materials. It's about getting some of the higher level glyphs that they've put in. All of that is just new stat gain for your guys, for your teams. And if you don't do it and everyone else is doing it, you'll just fall further and further behind. So you either need to have enough gear that everybody for your main teams, level 20 or 21 teams, are just constantly geared out to do that, which would be insane to have that level of gear available. Or you're going to be using that kind of like re-gearing mechanic often, which is going to be kind of frustrating unless you've got, firstly, silver to burn, but also it's time that you invest into doing that, right? So there's a lot going on here to just be able to beat it. And yeah, I think silver is just a pinch point for all of those things. Now, we had that 2 week of free silver removal, and, you know, I rebuilt my Hydra teams. I rebuilt some of my siege teams, my arena stuff. You know, I just think that people will play the game more. And surely, Raid, that's what you want, right? You want people to play your game. So that's the first one. Silver is a big thing. It's way worse, by the way, for new players than it is for late players. But late players have still got a similar challenge because of the late game content now. The late game content is a lot about having the right gear on the right champs. But for new players, it's horrendous. Yeah, it's a horrendous experience. Second one, and actually this just opened my eyes to it. Hard mode faction wars now. Okay, we have got the ability to turn on a ×3 super raid. Okay, every time we put more content in the game time requirement gets stretched. And Raid have tried, in fairness, to help us. Okay, they have. And they've done some good work, right? They've put this auto filtering system in when you're on something like Faction Wars. They put super raids in. They put like the re-gearing at pace stuff. Yeah, they've done stuff to try and fix it. They know it's a problem. That's the first thing. They know it's a problem because they want us to be playing live arena. That's why they put the seasons in. They want us to be actually playing Chimera. They want us to be, you know, actively playing Curse City. All of these things that they've added in, the new game modes, they want us to do it. So they are trying to find ways to reduce time elsewhere. But there's probably more they need to do. If you're going to put Super Raids ×3 in hard mode Faction Wars, do it here as well. Literally anywhere where it's possible, just do it, right? Just do it. Why not? Do it in any dungeon. Do it in Minnow. Do it like, if it's ×3, why couldn't that number be a 5? Like there's a whole bunch of stuff you can do to sunset old content. Old content we don't want to be actively doing anymore because it's kind of done deal. I still think you should have the teams that can do it, right? So I understand they want you to optimize. The game is about optimization. So I'm not saying like, oh, spend all of my energy in one fight. I think that's boring. But have at least super raids turned on in old content, you know, as a minimum. And I think super raids ×3 is just required as well, perhaps when you get to a certain stage of the game. As I say, they've done some stuff like instant clear clan boss, instant clear Hydra once you've kind of like finished that content. So they are doing things on that side, but you know, you just see it here. They've got it on hard mode, but unless it changes, it's not on normal. Like, why? Why not? Why wouldn't you put it here as well? It just doesn't make any sense. I'm hoping that's just a glitch in the matrix for the test server, but I doubt it is. Normally the test server is a pretty fair reflection of what's actually going to happen. So that's the second thing. The third thing for me is souls. Now they've made some changes on souls as well. It's not like none of this stuff's changed, right? They've made changes over the time. But there's a couple of things I think they should just straight up change today on souls, right? There should be the ability in the market, in the merchants to lock something. Okay, once something's come in, I'm like, damn, the Duchess is here. I've been after that for ages and I want it. But it's literally impossible. Even if I was a gazillionaire, right? A millionaire that was just going to drop all my money on raid, I could not make that happen today. So when Duchess is in there, even the biggest spenders in the game cannot force it to happen that I would just get my Duchess today. That's a problem. That's a problem with monetization, by the way, for you, Raid. Like, that's a problem. But the bigger problem is there's so many champs in the game now that it takes forever. Yeah, on my free-to-play, in 3 months playing this year, I think I found 2 of my champions in this marketplace. 2. There's so many champs in the game, the offering is not enough. So there's a number of changes that need to happen. This should just be the legendary page, right? 10 or 12 just on the legendary page. And it should be the same page like this for epics and for rares. There should also be mythicals now in here. Mythicals are a part of your game, Raid, right? They're a big part. You're making it so. Mythicals are a huge part of your game. And you're not including them here, right? So they need to be included in this. They also need to be included in here as a wish list. The wish list chances are still too low. They still don't hold enough weight for what we need. I do think now with the introduction of, getting some good rewards from Hydra and stuff, we have more ways than ever to get Mortal Soul Stones. But we've still got a problem that these, to buy high level ones, are so expensive, it's mental. Like, to save up for the 300s, I mean, you've got to be the most patient people in the land to do that. And so therefore, this is like it's like a fool's system, right? Because you're like, okay, well, I'm not going to save up for that, so I'm just going to pull my souls. And all I'm doing is I'm just hoping for luck the whole time. And we know that having a 4, 5, or 6 star soul is insane growth for a champ. And to the point where if I'm doing something like Siege and I look at the enemy and I'm like, oh crap, they've got a 6 star soul, I know that instantly their gear or their ability is 15 speed faster than me. Instantly. Before anything else is taken into account, I know that I'm going to struggle with that speed race. Even though I've got great gear or good gear, but if they've got anywhere near my level of gear, I'm instantly miles behind. So souls make such a difference. And I think they just, in the mechanics where they're farmable, they're not easy enough to farm. So lock someone that we want to be able to get, either reduce the cost here or give us a better way of getting the material like these now. However, how long is it since we've had this dungeon in play? It's got to be years at this point. Is it like 2 years? I don't know. Maybe it's at least a year, but I think it's probably 2 years. Like, these numbers should have gone up. They should have gone up on day 1, honestly, but they should go up. And there should be more chance to get the essence. Like, give us basically void rates through the week and double void rates on the Sunday. Like, and then we start to get somewhere. But yeah, wish list should have mythicals in it, and we should be able to choose them by now. And the wish list chances, I don't know if it's like, if someone's got the raid card, it doubles again, or you've just got so many champions in your game, Raid. You're not adapting to the way you're building your game. There's so many champions at 8 times chances. It's just still not enough. It was an improvement, but it's still not enough. So there's a lot that needs to change in this section. And yeah, I don't know. I'll just throw one in for a freebie as well. Yikes. Come on. You tried, you failed, go again. Anyway, that's going to be it for this video. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Small changes would make this game feel a lot better for the average player. I've been Hell Hades. I'll see you soon.